summer. I really appreciate you coming in on your summer vacation, especially with school so close around the corner. So really quick, favorite thing you did over the summer so far? Anything fun? Amazing? No?
I got to spend lots of time with Eden.
Yes.
Aww.
Yeah? Anybody else?
Painted my she shed. I'm getting ready.
Is it
Got me a
done?
table. Got me a table to do my little artsy parts in it. So kind of pumped.
I'm excited. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Grand Canyon.
Ooh.
That was fun.
Did you ride the mule? Is it mules or?
No,
what-
we
what
didn't
is
do
it?
any mule riding. No.
Okay,
We'll
okay.
save that for
Okay,
another-
no,
save
didn't
that
do
for
that.
another trip.
Okay. That's exciting.
It was fun.
Roden? Anything fun?
Went to Arkansas to see the in-laws. It was quite a time.
always
That would be
is.
my favorite. That would be my
Always
favorite.
is.
Yep. Shep,
I traveled
you did. Yeah. Back home, Salama. Yeah.
lots of just painted a lot projects.
Put you together. Just make it.
Yes.
Yeah. Polly, what'd you do?
Oh, lots of lake time.
What lake did you guys go to? You go to El Dorado?
No, we've been to Table Rock, we went to Cobb, we went to Marion.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
we've been-
nice. You
we've
had
been
some
to
good ones.
a few. We put a pool in this summer too.
Look
You got
at
a
you
concussion.
go.
Huh?
She
Yeah, I
has
got
a
it.
concussion.
Yeah, I got a concussion.
Do you have it right now?
Yes.
But this is the very.
Do you want me to
end.
turn off another light?
No, I'm good.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm 33 and should not go down water slides. I know.
Oh, you got a concussion going down a water
No.
slide? Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
I think that's wrong. I think.
Can't
The
live
doctor's
life
like,
that way.
The doctor goes, so is this going to, is this the end of these activities? And I said, no, probably not.
It's fine.
Wear a helmet.
I have a slip and slide incident at about 43.
You know, you did share that on Facebook when I got paid slip and slide. You did share that.
Yeah.
Yes. I
We
wish
went
I
to-
could have
so
seen it.
This
So
all
yeah.
should not go on a slipper
Right.
slide.
We had an adult weekend. We went to Oklahoma City and we went to
There's
the.
the real story.
We went to
This
the.
was drunk.
Adult
I wasn't
weekend.
actually. We were all sober.
Sure.
We went to
And you
the
got drunk.
river. Yes, I did. River sport.
Oh yeah, we drove by that.
Adventures.
I
We're
wanna
gonna
see
go.
that.
Oh my God, it's a blast.
Is
We
it
went
fun?
white water rafting. We
Oh, that's
went-
neat.
I zip lined across the Oklahoma River.
Cool.
There's like this huge team building
Oh
thing.
yeah, like a
But,
ropes course.
Yes, you go all the
Yes.
way up and.
Oh, that would be cool.
So it was actually the very last thing I did that day.
Well, at least you
Well,
saved it
that's
till the end of the day.
Yeah.
Maybe not the end of the trip. What about you?
We went to Beaver Lake,
Where's that at?
Arkansas.
Oh, that's cool.
Usually
Oh, was that
As
your
a
favorite
family.
vacation?
I feel like every time I'm on Facebook, you're on
I mean,
like a
we
trip.
did a couple little ones. Independence, Kansas.
Yes.
but-
Park to the kitty park? Did you go to the kitty park?
No, we have not done
Oh,
that.
that's in Bar, is that
That's
in
in Bartlesville.
Bartlesville? Thank you.
It's still, it is so cool.
So
It really is cool.
50 cents a ride?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I sent you guys a survey to fill out before we started this, and almost all of you said you'd never heard of the house system, which is great. That's perfect. So I didn't know if you Googled it or you phoned a friend or anything. So what I need you to think about right now is when you hear the word house system, does anything come to mind? Are there any words that pop into your head that maybe you now know?
Chores.
Or what do you think when the word house system comes to your mind?
Chores.
Chores?
How to clean your house.
Oh, nice. That would have never came to my head.
Financially, how am I
like
gonna
it.
get a house?
Financially, how am I, okay, I like that. Well, those
Maybe
are all
like
really good
cards,
ideas.
Like playing cards, like the house system.
Oh, okay,
Cards.
yes, yes.
Vegas.
Literally, I didn't think of any of that, so that's perfect. But the best way that I can explain it to you is with Harry Potter. So hopefully you all have some experience with Harry Potter. Is there anybody that has never seen it, read a book, or doesn't have a general idea of Harry Potter? Oh, okay. Do you want me, I'll give you a brief overview. So imagine this, the kids walk into the very first time to this really, it's kind of like a boarding school. It's a boarding school that you go away to. And you're there for like 4 years. You go home on the summer, but you live and stay at this school the entire school year. So these kids walk up this grand staircase, and they see this super scary professor, and she says, you are going to be sorted into a house, and this house is where you will be in for the duration of your time at Hogwarts. So the kids go in to this grand hall, and this old hat gets put on their head, and it says what house they're going to be put into. So we are looking at doing something like that here, except it's not going to be Harry Potter with an old hat, this old hat, and it's not going to be the same. I know, I'm sorry. I really like sharing the hat idea with lice and everything. It sounded like the best option, but we moved on to something different. So I'm going to talk to you about where this idea even came from in the first place. back in like January, February, Kelsey and I stumbled across this book called The Wild Card. And it is written by Hope and Wayne King, these two teachers that teach at the Ron Clark Academy. And as I'm reading it, I'm getting really inspired. It's an easy read. I have it. If anybody wants to read it, it's great. But Hope talks about this thing called the house system. And so as I'm reading it, it sounds really cool. And then I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I want to go to this school. I have to see this school where these teachers work. And so at the end of May, we got to go to the Ron Clark Academy. It's all the way in Georgia, and that was the longest car ride of my life. I absolutely hated it. And we drove the Crown Vic. Thank you, Dr.
Come on.
Black.
I love the Hoopty-mobile.
Woo! It
Love
was wonderful, except when you wanted to play music through your phone because you
No.
couldn't find stations in
Yeah.
whatever Arkansas highway that is, and you're just, But it was great. It was great. Spacious in the back, and you
Very.
can fit probably 2 or 3 dead bodies back there.
Trunk.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
we
I
talked
talked
about that. You really
That
could.
trunk is awesome.
It's very deceiving. You don't
Yeah.
think it's going to be that big, but it's that big. So we walk in and picture this. You have this cool castle-like building. The whole thing on the outside is painted like a castle, and it is a castle theme throughout the entire thing. They have knights of armor. They have these giant dragons on the wall. They have towers in there. It is a castle theme. So we walk into this door, and it is loud. There are kids lining this aisle, and they're all jumping and screaming and dancing. There's kids playing a guitar and drums, and teachers playing instruments, and everybody's just so excited, and they're shuffling us into this giant auditorium. As we go, all of a sudden this little kid's like, come here, come talk to me. And I'm like, is it safe? Can I trust you? Should I follow this kid? So we followed this kid, and all of a sudden he immediately, eye contact, the first thing that caught us right away, he shook hands, eye contact, said his name, introduced what house he is in, and it was from that point on a promotion. The whole time he is promoting his house. You need to be in this house. Isabindi is the best. We have the best kids. We are always getting good grades. We are the nicest, just raving about his house. And so instantly I'm like, he's just so proud. Like, he is so proud of his house. And throughout the next 2-day experience, it popped up everywhere. The teachers were so proud of their houses. And that's the shirt. I chose Altruismo. And it's just, this is the house of the givers. And so they all had different meanings. Their 4 houses that they had at the Ron Clark Academy, the names came from countries that the school had actually been to. So, kind of neat. We're not going to be taking a whole school to Africa, so I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. But it's still cool that that's where their house names came from. And while we're there, the teachers, they definitely, in the adult training session, Hope King was talking to just the adults. There weren't any kids around. But she was talking about, girl, I don't know why you chose black. You think black is slimming. You think it looks so good on you, but you're wrong. Red is the slimming color. Like she was kind of, talking smack on the other houses to promote hers to the adults. Now, it wasn't like that in front of the kids. But in front of the kids, they are proud of their house, and the teachers were 100% all buy-in. They were wearing their pins. They had pins. They had socks, ties. They had everything to promote their house. So it was very eye-opening and super cool to see how proud the kids were of something in their school at that age. It wasn't a sports team. It wasn't anything like that where they were competing in a bad way. It was a good, friendly competition. So it was very cool. Oops. Sorry. Okay. So why do I feel like we need the house system here at Garfield? We have a great school. Like, we know that. We love our school. We're passionate about our school. We have great people that work here, and we have great kids. But over the past couple of years, in every staff meeting and PLC, we're talking about how the kids are getting worse, how they're coming to us with worse attitudes. They can't have friendly competitions like the 4th graders last year. They can't have work in a group. I know Crystal and I, we do a lot of group projects for social studies and science, and we had several kids this year that literally had to sit out because they would rather sit out and do it completely by themselves instead of talking to other people. Because it's that whole my way, highway, somebody else's fault, putting the blame on other people constantly. So the house system is something that we can tie in along with capturing kids' hearts. It goes hand in hand with capturing kids' hearts. They are literally perfect to mesh together. Along with capturing kids' hearts, it's going to promote teamwork. It's going to promote friendly competition, and it's going to talk about culture, because the kids are gonna learn about the history for their house, the house that they're in. They're going to learn some history about it, where the name comes from, what does your house mean, things like that, so. Now this is just gonna be a brief overview, and then I'm gonna show you a cool video of it kind of in action. I cannot show you guys the Ron Clark Academy stuff itself, but after we leave, if you want to watch more videos from the Ron Clark Academy or download their app, it has great resources on there. I just can't do it in my presentation. So, for the setup, the kids are gonna go in on the first day of school. The whole school comes in, you know, we always do our beginning assembly. So what's gonna happen is 4th and 5th will stay for right now. It's just gonna be 4th and 5th because kids sitting there spinning a wheel, it's gonna be one of those things where they're not gonna be able to sit and watch the whole school get sorted. So in the beginning, it's just gonna be 4th and 5th that stays in the gym. I'll go up, promote this house system and explain it to the kids, try and get everybody hyped up and excited. And then that's when we will start having the kids go up one at a time to spin the wheel and get sorted into their house. So as of right now, Kathy and Jen are one of the houses, and then Crystal and I are the other 2 houses. So after a kid spins, if they get altruismo, they're just gonna come over and stand by me and sit and then cheer on everybody else until we're done. They're gonna get a house shirt. We have been working our tails off this summer to get donations. T-shirts are gonna cost $2,100. As of right now, I have $2,148.
Whoop, whoop.
So I'm pretty excited that I got all of the T-shirts covered. Now I just got to get some money for the wheel to get made, and then we'll be sitting pretty. So each kid though is going to get the house shirt. So it's one of those things that they're going to have something now to be proud of. You know what I mean? I can wear this to school the days that we have our house meetings. It's just going to be something neat for them. Then I'll explain to the kids. We'll have them go sit down, sit with their houses, and we're going to talk about how this is going to work. You're going to be earning points all year long, and I'll talk more about the points in just a second. And then, ta-da, at the very end, there's gonna be a house cup awarded. So back to Harry Potter, they're all working for that house cup at the very end of the movie. Every single year, we got a trophy made. It is being engraved, and it will sit in the case at the front of the school, you know, for the times that we don't have things in the case, so the kids can walk by and see this really pretty gold trophy, be like, what is that? What am I working? You know what I mean? And so it'll remind them every year. And then whatever house wins it, altruismo, they get bragging rights the whole next school year. They're gonna get to be like, that's my trophy. So we'll put like a little banner behind it or something, make it cute, and that way that everybody knows, oh, altruismo won it last year. So, earning points and keeping, oh no, I'll show you the video, I'm sorry. Time out. So this video is on YouTube, and I only have, or I don't wanna play the whole thing for you. And I did add the link in your handout. It's on the second page, so that way if you want to watch it. This video was great. When I was doing some research over the summer, I sent it to a couple people. I'm like, this explains it perfect. You see it in action. So brief overview, really quick. It's a 4th grade assembly, and there's a teacher that's going to come out, and it's kind of fuzzy, I'm sorry. But the teacher comes out, and she is talking to the kids that are going to be coming into it. So you can do the house system more than one way. We can have the whole school do it, which is what we've seen and heard about a lot of other teachers doing, or you can just do it in like the upper grades, and then as the kids get, it's something that they look forward to, if that makes sense. So there's definitely more than one way we can do this, and it just kind of depends on the staff. And really quick, I did it last year for the last 9 weeks, and I don't know if you guys know, I know you guys did because you were in my classroom with giving points, but I sorted my kids. We had a wheel, and the kids were sorted into the 4 houses, and they earned points, but they also lost points because it was my behavior system in the classroom. This is not your behavior system in the classroom. This is just a school-wide thing, and you cannot take away points. So that's kind of where this will be different than what I did in my classroom last year. The feedback that I got from the kids was they loved it. They loved being on a team. They held each other accountable. I mean, they called each other out when one person was messing up. I mean, they could see when I took away a point, why I took away a point. It didn't say who the point came from, but it said being disrespectful, not making eye contact when someone is speaking. I tied in a lot of things like that, paying attention to the speaker. And so when we would do lit circles, I would be watching, and let's just say Crystal was staring off into space, I would just take away a point. They would see it on the Promethean board, it makes a little doom sound, you know, and it took away a point, and they knew, oh, pay attention. Come on guys, all right, we gotta refocus. So
They
it
knew
was,
which team, I
Yeah.
mean, which house lost.
yes, it pops up, yes. And so it was really cool because, yes, there were arguments. I'll tell you right now, they did argue, but it was constructive conversations that they needed to have. They need to learn how to argue with someone instead of saying, it's my way, or you stop, you know what I mean, saying bad things. They've got to learn how to have an altercation. So, yes, there was times for me last year where that happened, but it was great. It was perfect to watch them try and work things out. And Mrs. Davis, can we have a house meeting? We need to have a house meeting right now. We need to talk and regroup. Okay, time out, guys. 5-minute house meeting. And they would just go and talk in the group. Okay, what are we gonna do to earn points? What are we gonna do to get back into first place? So it was really cool. It was neat to see the kids becoming their own leaders and taking action. I didn't do anything. If you earned points, great. You guys won this week. Good job. And the prizes were silly. AR books. They always want to go read those first grade level books. Okay, if your house wins this week, you can go pick 2 AR level books that are out of your level. You have to take a test on it by Friday, and you get points for those. I mean, they loved that. Just free stuff. Board games. They brought in board games one day. I sent them out in the hallway. They sat and played board games, and everybody else just AR read. So it's easy, free things that we can do. So, okay, I'll show you this now. And I am going to just kind of fast forward at times. So they just finished, Freeville Review, they just finished singing a song, and you guys wanted to hear that. Can you guys hear that okay? Lots of yelling, so it's kind of hard to understand what they're saying.
Hello, Rema. We are so excited to perform for you today. Today we're going to show you something new and exciting that's going to happen next year at Orema. Next year you're going to be in a house and get to wear one of these fun t-shirts. You might be wondering, what is a house? Good question. Let's ask the expert. Alexis, what is a house?
To me, a house is a way to connect with students that are in my grade but not in my class.
That's really
Thank you. Vanessa, what is a house to you?
To me, a house is a way to have
Fun and be silly. Awesome. And Seth, what is a house to you?
To me, a house is a group of students who cheer each other on and make me feel special.
And finally, Amanda, what is a house to you?
To me, a house is a group of students who earn points for good behavior.
Those are some awesome answers. Now let's take a look at what happens in a 4th grade house meeting.
Okay, so right off the bat, the kids led that whole thing. That's part of it that I like. What we're kind of envisioning is the 5th graders being leaders in the school because, I mean, they're going to middle school next year. They need to learn how to be a positive leader and role model. If the whole school joins in on this, it'll be a mixture in a house of K through 5th. Now, the 5th graders get to know their kindergartners, but they only get to know their buddy. So in this case, they're going to get to meet all of the kindergartners for the most part. I mean, whoever's in their family, or in their house, not their family, but their house. And so it's just one of those things where the kids are leading it, they get to meet each other, and they get to know one another. So as they're walking through the hallway, it's not just, oh, I only know my 5th grade friends. Now it's, I know everybody. So now the teacher's gonna do her little spiel. They are gonna do some cheers and chants, and it's kind of loud, but this is something that we would do here, is the kids in each house will make their own cheer. And I'm gonna show you mine from the Rockford Academy. If I know, I'm a little nervous, but it's gonna be fine. Okay, ALT, RUI, SMO, ALT, RUI, SMO, BLACK, BLACK, blackout, BLACK, BLACK, blackout, eat, sleep, conquer, repeat, eat, sleep, conquer, repeat. So that was our little cheer. And the kids taught us adults that within, the kids, there were no teachers, nobody around. We were in this giant auditorium, and we are divided by our house colors, and the kids just come up, and this girl's like, all right, I'm the house leader of Alturismo. You need to listen to me, and we're going to learn this chant. We have to be the best, and we have to win. Like, she's yelling because it's loud and crazy. But it was amazing. This little girl, she was 8th grade. It's 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So she's a little bit older, but still it was cool. She's bossing around these 120, 200 adults and telling us what to do. Okay, and she came by and she's like, you're not loud enough. Louder, come on, I need more from you. Come on, stand up, let's go, come come on, and she's just bouncing back and forth and so excited. And so, like that pride, they're just so proud of their family. So here's their cheers, the school's cheers. Oh wait. Sorry. And the kids make the cheers. So the kids created those chants and cheers, and that'll be how it is here. We'll take some time to let the kids in that house meet, and they'll create a cheer, and it doesn't need to change. It'll just be kind of the same cheer the whole school year, and then maybe the next year they recreate, or they can keep the same thing. So just kind of whatever we decide as the teachers. Now the teacher comes out. There's more to this. The teacher comes out and she talks to the whole staff and student body that's sitting there and explains more in depth about the house system. So that's something that you guys can go back and watch to learn a little bit more if I don't do it good enough. So, earning points and keeping score. The Ron Clark Academy is coming out with an app tomorrow, hopefully. They said in August. So I'm banking on August 1st. Come on, guys. So that's not gonna happen, but they're banking on it. So there's supposed to be an app. Now I'll tell you, in my classroom last year, I used Class Dojo, and most of us have experience with Class Dojo where you add points and you can take away points. And the cool part about Class Dojo is the parents get connected. So like anytime their specific child loses a point or earns a point, the parents get like a notification so they know, oh, man, Charlie just lost a point because he was rude. I'm gonna have a conversation with him tonight, or maybe they don't. So, but anyway, the Class Dojo. It could work for us as a whole staff because easily, what I did last year on my Class Dojo is I had 4 houses, and I put the kids in that house just so I would know. So I did not have it memorized what house each kid was in. I didn't. So I would just say, hey, Kathy, what house are you in? And you would tell me, and then I would go, click on it, and then I would add a point. The reason why I liked the Class Dojo is it was downloaded on your phone. You could use it on your laptop, and it's one of those things that we could all get on and use. But that's not really one of the options that we're thinking about using to keeping points as of right now. It could potentially be if that's the route we want to go. So the 2 options we've come up with right now are the app, fingers crossed, and then option number 2 is a bucket system with sticky notes or paper. So in Pam's office there will be 4 buckets. It'll be color coded with the house name on it. If I give Crystal a point for getting 100% on her AR test or 100% on her math test, I'll write 1 point, altruismo, fold it up, give it to her, and say, really quick, go take it down and put it in your bucket. And it'll be in Pam's office. So it's a universal spot. It's not going to move. The kids know how to get to Pam's office, almost all of them, because it's something that we have to think about with the kinders, being able to get there and not get lost. In the beginning, obviously, that's going to be something hard for kindergarten and 1st grade. So a backup plan is maybe the teacher just writes it down on a piece of paper, like, hey, I gave all trees, just have a sheet that has all 4 houses, and then just do like a tally system or something. I awarded 3 points. And then when you go to the restroom, or you swing by to get copies, or it's your plan time, or before school, whatever, go give it to Pam, and we'll tally it up. We're working with the tech team to try and get it to pop up on that TV screen that's there in the front office area, to where a kid can walk by and just say, oh yes, my team's in the lead. So there are so many things that we can do to show kids who's winning. One example was a flagpole. Oh yeah, question? What? Oh, is that what you're saying? Oh, okay. The flagpole, it had three different colored flags, and they would change the flag order every Friday to put the winning house on the top of the flagpole that was winning. And I'm telling you guys, there's so much that we could do with this to promote it in the school and really get everything going. But it's gonna be a process. Like, I am not expecting this to go smooth sailing in August. It's not gonna be that way. It's gonna be something that we're gonna have to work out the kinks and change it as we go, and find what works for us and doesn't work for us. Because I'm telling you right now, we went to the Ron Clark Academy and they flat out said, you will not be able to explain what you experienced here, like, to the T. You just can't. It's one of those things where you almost have to see it. You can try, which we're going to, but you have to make it work for you. So at Garfield, we're not gonna make everything like them. I mean, they've been in school now for 12 years, and they flat out told us the first year, it wasn't like this. You know, it was very basic, and there's nothing wrong with basic. I don't wanna overwhelm you guys. I don't wanna make this a stressful thing. This is supposed to be something that's fun, and something that's supposed to bring the school more together, and not, like, you know, tear us apart or make everybody wanna pull their hair out. So earning points, I told you about the keeping score. Earning points can be anything. Anything you want to give a child a point for. Some examples were effort. I mean, I know in my class it's all about effort. Okay, you really worked hard on this. It was, maybe the writing kind of struggled. Let's work on the writing part, but I'm so proud of what you gave me. Report cards, good grades, good score on a math test. Maybe it was an AR test. I have AR on here too. Anything, guys. Kindness. Our theme this year is kindness. We have capturing kids' hearts. If you saw a kid go up and shake somebody's hand, make eye contact, and repeated their name, you just earned yourself 3 points. Thank you for doing what I want you to do. I mean, just those kinds of things that we're incorporating at Garfield. Helping others. Being able to work as a team and promoting kindness and acceptance of others. So anything you want to award points for. There is no limitations. The only limitation, sorry, -1. There's one limitation. You cannot give a child more than 5 points for one act of whatever. So 5-point max. Hope was explaining about how at their school, they started it school-wide, not at Ron Clark, but in the school before Ron Clark. They started the house system, and they were giving out points, and all of a sudden they look, and this one teacher, they kept track of how many points each teacher gave, and this one teacher was giving out like thousands of points to some people's like 20. And so they're like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I just thought they did a good job. I just gave them 1,000 points. No, you can't do that. So that's why we put the 5-point max on there. So that doesn't mean though that you can only earn 5 points in one day. You could have got 5 points from one teacher and then received another 3 points from another teacher. It doesn't matter. That does not matter at all. Just for each individual act, it had cap at 5. So, any questions on that? Okay. This is the part that I'm really excited about, and this is the house meetings. So the kids have to get together. That is crucial for this to work. You cannot just sort them into a house on day 1 and say, game on, okay, and then you never see them again. You don't ever see that 3rd grader that you know is in your house. You don't ever see that 1st grader that was in your house. It does not work that way. So we will have house meetings. It will be led by the 5th graders. Crystal and I are going to work with those kids to make sure it is a scripted outline on what to do. We're envisioning this taking place on Friday celebrations. The teachers don't need to be there for it because it's going to be student-led. So we'll be in PLCs. It will not take away any instruction time. It will not affect any lunches or anything like that. It won't affect recess. It's celebrations. So it's kind of a win-win because now Trevor doesn't have to stress about finding a visitor, guest. But we will still have those. It's only like once a month. So that's what we're envisioning, is one house meeting once or twice a month. Maybe in the beginning, try to do it twice so that way they kind of get to know the kids, and then we can kind of go from there. What I'm envisioning in the beginning of these house meetings is team building. Lots of team building, getting to know each other's names, practicing handshakes and eye contact, that capturing kids' hearts things. And then after that, we're gonna tie in the Circle of Courage, Badge of Courage. You guys remember that, the four-piece thing that Trevor has talked to us about? I always wanna call it Badge of Courage, but I don't know if it's Badge of Circle. And then the other one is Capturing Kids' Hearts. So we are going to tie those in to their house meetings. So maybe we set up some sort of activity that focuses on the first thing in the Circle of Courage, or we tie it with something in the Capturing Kids' Hearts part. So it'll take place during Friday celebrations. It's student-led. This part, we have not planned everything out. I'll tell you right now. It's one of those things where we're gonna have to sit down as a group of teachers and figure out what we want it to look like. Because I know, I've already pictured it in my head. You guys are gonna walk in after PLCs and it's just gonna be chaos. Kids running amok everywhere. These kids in all their colored shirts and it's gonna be like, what is going on here? This is not productive at all. But no, we're gonna make it to where it's organized. Each house will sit in a section, and we're gonna have more than one fifth grader, as long as the wheel allows it, more than one fifth grader in each house leading this. But we wanna promote the fourth graders coming up so that way when they come into fifth grade the following year, they already know the ropes, so we will have fourth grade leaders as well. So it's gonna be kind of a mesh between the upperclassmen of the building running these meetings to keep things organized and good to go. So that's the house meetings. Any questions on that for right now? No. Any other questions? No? I know it's a lot.